Hello YouTube, this is the Florida Rider, and I am not heading into Daytona today. Nope, I'm heading towards D-Land, or DeLand, or however you say it, because it's time to go home. Yep, after 4 days of bike week, it's time for me to go ahead and head back to my coast and enjoy my weekend before heading back to work on Sunday. But I have to admit that I had an awesome time. I definitely will be back to Bike Week next year. I got to ride many bikes, I think 12 total. Saw a friend, met up with another moto vlogger who's also a friend, and enjoyed the fact that everybody was there on bikes celebrating how much they love their hobby as much as I did. It was amazing. If you haven't been to Bike Week, I highly recommend it. And to get home, I could just hop on I-4 and be home in 2.5 hours or so, or at least back to Tampa in that time. However, I've decided to go the long route. Depending upon the weather, of course, because it does look like it might rain. But that might make the route even longer if I have to run from the rain, which I am perfectly willing to do, because it is 11 o'clock in the morning and I have no specific time to be home. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride today and the last official day of my vacation. Chili cook-off in Umitalia, I guess it's called. I don't know. But this is where I'm going to find a place to eat. Oh, not Pizza Hut. I want something mom and pop. I know that Eustis is just down the road here. But I'd rather stop here, because everybody goes to Eustis. So let me have a little diner now. Lake feed. There we go. That's where I am going. Right there. Can you get any more local than this? I love it. Still making my way home from Daytona. It's now just past 5 p.m. and I am in Dade City. A cute little place that I must come back and have another look at some point in time, because it seems very quaint. Lots of nice old houses here too. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm cutting over to the beach right now because I am on time to hit Tampa rush hour and get stuck on 275, the highway, interstate, freeway, whatever you want to call it, for a very long time, trying to get right through the central part of Tampa. So I am north of Tampa and cutting over west to the beach before my county breaks off into a peninsula, because once it does is when you get stuck in all the traffic. And I do happen to know that 52 will take me across. It might not be too much shorter, but it'll still have me moving rather than just sitting there in traffic waiting. So it's been a good trip home. I've stopped in parks, I've stopped in the forest, I've found a few hills, some twisties, well, Florida twisties I should say. And it's just been a brilliant last day of vacation. That truck was unnecessary. Doesn't look like there's going to be much of a sunset this evening with all the clouds in the way, but oh well. Perhaps what'll happen tomorrow instead. And I have a surprise for you in just a few minutes, so I will resume with the camera in just a few minutes. We are now entering San Antonio. Yes, that's right. We are now in San Antonio, Florida. Sorry. That was confusing. Those are the suburbs. There's apartments right there. And this is downtown San Antonio, Florida. Amazing, isn't it? I didn't really have this return trip planned out. I sort of went by ear. And while my co-pilot GPS program is awesome at getting me from one place to another if I know where I'm going, it's not awesome at advising me what type of scenic routes there are and things of that nature. So what I've actually been doing on this trip is using Google Maps, and I've been stopping at places where I get free Wi-Fi because I use Bright House Wi-Fi at home, and that gives me rights to the mobile hotspots they have too, which luckily in my part of Florida are everywhere because I believe they're based out of Tampa. And the Google Maps app is awesome. Yes, I have an iPhone and perhaps I should be using the Apple Maps. However, when Apple Maps first came out a few years ago, it had my house in the bay. Now, I do not live on a houseboat. I live on a normal, everyday house that's on land. And while that has actually been corrected, I've been using the Google Maps app. And it's really very, very detailed when you zoom in on it, and you find these little squiggly lines, and you say to yourself, yeah, I want to do that. And then I can plug that into my GPS, and I've been doing that. And it's been a lot of fun. Not a care in the world, just out on the bike in very nice weather. It's been a mixture of sun and clouds today. It hasn't been oppressively hot, thank goodness, because Florida does tend to get oppressively hot. Just zip it right along. I know that normally I'm a city rider, for good reason. I live in the city. And the countryside does seem quite far away a lot of the time. But I need to do this more often. Just sort of explore more. I haven't done it lately because of the fact that it's been quite cold. But hopefully, now that the weather's better, I'll be able to have more time to do that. Okay, YouTube. We are just about home now. I'm about 2 miles from home. And I'd like to thank you for listening to me babble on this journey home. I hope you enjoy the upcoming Bike Week videos, mostly test rides. And I'd also like to let you know once again that my bike does indeed rock. Anyway, this is a Florida Rider signing off. Goodbye.